Good morning, Pomfret. Your first chapel speaker has 2 webbed toes on both of her feet. Your second made over 300 peanut butter and jellies last year, and nobody on campus properly pronounces the third chapel speaker's last name. Your chapel speakers are Sophie Nardelli, Sean Hurley, and hopefully Sean Lang.
I'm sure that you have all heard of Lyme disease. You have all been told to watch out for ticks in the grass, wear long socks, and use bug spray. You have probably all heard that when people contract Lyme disease, that they go to a doctor to get antibiotics, or that in serious cases, people are fatigued and their muscles and joints are achy and sore all the time. What you probably don't know is that in children, Lyme looks very different. The disease often attacks the brain by crossing the not yet developed blood-brain barrier, resulting in neurological impairment. Today, you will be hearing a kid's side of the story. This is my story. I remember looking longingly out the window, the scent of alcohol wipes infiltrating my nose. My mother prodded me, looking for the sweet spot in my portacath, a device in my chest to insert the needle that delivered antibiotics to my bloodstream. What I wanted more than anything was to be a carefree child once again. I wanted to be able to play outside without being worried about inhaling contaminated air. I wanted to be able to sit in class and listen to my teacher instead of making a mental list of people who were touching the doorknob. And I wanted to be able to have a play date after school and instead of taking an hour-long shower that left my eyes steaming with soap and my skin cracked and bleeding, unable to leave one corner of the couch for the rest of the day. I was living with Lyme disease, my brain swollen to the point where my own mind became my worst nightmare. Obsessive-compulsive disorder, as a result of my disease, kept me from living my life. Imagine how you would feel if you were forced to do the grossest, most terrifying thing that you can imagine. This is how I felt every time I left my house. Every day, beginning when I was 8, my parents came home from work to find me curled up on the couch, my face sticky from a combination of the remnants of soap and tears. My parents told me that I had to cry softer. They told me that the neighbors didn't know my circumstances and that if I screamed too loud and too often, then Child Protective Services would take me away. We knew of many stories like this. Seeing the fear that spread across my face when they reminded me of this reality, my parents tried to comfort me. My mother reached out her hand to comb back my hair, but I instinctively flinched away, unable to have physical contact with her for fear of becoming contaminated. Most people would guess that the most difficult aspect of Lyme disease would be the 100 of pills that I had to take a day, the IV antibiotics, or the doctor appointment on the other side of the country. But in fact, it was the absence of physical contact and personal connection. I ceased to play the sports that I loved and could no longer attend school. I isolated myself from my friends and could barely speak to my father without becoming an anxious ball of tears. My older siblings did not understand my situation, and we grew apart. In a time where all I should have known were tire swings and American Girl dolls, I was familiarized with needles and despair. I could no longer recognize myself. I was not me. The only place I ever felt like I belonged was in my summer town in the Adirondack Mountains. For those of you that don't know, the Adirondacks is a state park that is greater in size than Yellowstone, Everglades, Glacier, and Grand Canyon National Park combined. In my inflamed, sick brain, the outdoors were clean and pure. I was able to go places without thinking about every handle I touched and the correct placement of every step I took. I was even able to hang out with friends without worrying about being uncomfortable about the surrounding germs. I began to rely heavily on my summer camp, Adirondack Trail Improvement Society, to help me feel alive again. Even during my sickest days, I was able to go on APIS trips and feel like a normal kid. Ironically, it was the most challenging, uncomfortable situations in the woods that made me feel like I was safe. It was impossible to think about my OCD when I was teetering on a ledge of rock less than an inch wide with a 100-foot drop beneath me, concentrating on my technique. I was distracted from calculating the germs in my own home when I was packing out in the dark and cold rain at the end of the 20-mile hike. And I was too focused on the camaraderie and carrying a canoe on my shoulder for over 3 miles with my best friend to stop and rack my brain about which chair my mom had sat in that morning. In these instances, feeling unbelievably mortal, I was able to find myself and feel safe from my disease. Although Lyme disease nearly destroyed me and my family, I truly believe that it has opened up a new world for me. Even after moving in 8th grade, I could not carry out a normal life at my school because I believed that it was contaminated. However difficult at the time, this was a miracle in disguise, as it drove me to seize an out-of-the-box opportunity. I went to 2 semester schools. The first in Pisgah Forest, North Carolina, where we backpacked, blacksmithed, and learned the importance of community and building strong relationships. The second semester school was an all-girls program called the Traveling School. At the Traveling School, we backpacked across Ecuador, Peru, and Bolivia, experiencing the culture, taking classes about the world around us, swimming in the Galapagos, and mountaineering in the Andes. Without these 2 programs, I would not have the same appreciation for life or view on the world as I have today. In the past 3 years of being Lyme-free, I've become very introspective. I now regularly ask myself, how alive do I feel right now? Am I living my life intentionally, or am I letting moments slide by? Now that I have my life back, I've developed a unique perspective where I try not to take anything for granted or waste time doing anything but the things that I love. My friends in the Adirondacks have also helped with this, teaching me that although success in school and athletics is important, the only things in life that are truly worth doing are those that make you happy. Nothing makes me feel more alive and in love with this world than waking up at 1 a.m. to hike up the mountain and watch the sun paint the night sky. Another character trait that Lyme has taught me is resilience. Overcoming Lyme disease and my own brain turning against me has fostered my intense will to fight. Instead of backing away from failure, I actively seek challenges, uncomfortable situations, adventure, and the feeling of being truly alive. I'm now a counselor at ATIS, where I hope to instill in my campers the same passion for the outdoors and courage to knock at the door of uncertainty as I developed there. I took a step back from the athletics that was such a big part of my life before becoming sick and reevaluated if they truly made my world spin around. Although I loved both soccer and hockey, I decided that I had simply lost too much time to my disease and had to place less emphasis on this aspect of my life instead of holding on to the same expectations I had before becoming sick. Around this time, I decided to take up running, since I had always done it in my free time to clear my mind. So far, I have found running to be an extremely challenging, refreshing, and rewarding experience. Now, I crave the feeling I get in races when pushing my body and mind to their absolute limits, sometimes even thinking, I've battled Lyme, I can put my body through a few more minutes of pain. Although Lyme disease was the most difficult hardship I've endured, I feel very blessed for all that the experience has led me to and fostered in me. I'm now extremely resilient and more prepared to get the most out of every opportunity and obstacle that come my way in this life. Before I close, I have to recognize one very important person in my life. Through my entire battle with Lyme, my mother never gave up on me. She refused to believe that her youngest child could develop intense anxiety overnight. She refused to quit looking for new doctors, new medicines, and new treatments for my disease. Even when professionals were telling her that my condition was mental, and that the most practical option was to send me to a psychiatric ward, my mother knew that whatever I had developed was not the real me, and she did not stop until she found my cure. If it weren't for my mother, there's a good chance that I would be paralyzed, brain damaged, or have suffered heart failure. It was me and her against the world. Thank you, Mom, for always believing that I could battle through Lyme and still achieve great things. And thank you, Pomfret, for listening to my story with an open mind. I hope that by sharing this story, I've not only given you a better understanding of who I am, but that you also have gained some awareness for Lyme disease. I hope that you walk out of this chapel realizing that no one's story is simple, and that there is always something behind the curtain. No one skates through life without encountering obstacles, and my hope is that when you do, you will reach out to your loved ones for support and use the experience as fuel to reach your goals. Thank you.